other?
No.
Yes.
No, not really. Fairness and equality. There was also some other stuff that some people felt strongly about that I just want to mention for the group, which was anti-capitalism and self-actualisation or growth. Thank you.
We had science.
We just talked about how the foundations for our future to be based on a scientific method rather than ideas and opinions of people. I mean, if someone doesn't understand what I mean about scientific method, that is, you have an aim, you create an experiment, a hypothesis.
Create the experiment, test the hypothesis, and then come to a conclusion. Our going forward community base our decisions on science. The next one we have is community participation.
Is that real or new democracy?
We felt it was really important that community participation, that people actually participate in society. And our last thing, so we had three things. We've got science, we've got community participation. The other one we had was the environment. We have to recognise that we have a symbiotic connection with the environment, and it is important that we look after the environment like it is part of us.
Sustainability, is that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love when people are around.
Yeah. Symbiotic relationship.
So, if we all take a moment to read over it, if you can read my writing, maybe I should read them out. So we've got science, true equality, which has been moved into, how would people feel about true equality and equal value being moved into a value of every person is of equal value? Would that cover those points there? Would value be natural to equality? Would equal value be a natural part of true equality? I think, would everyone agree that a tenet of true equality is that everyone is of equal value? Is everyone in agreement that that would be an underlying tenet of true equality?
I don't see everyone's hands. Is anyone against that?
Someone come up, don't see your hand. Okay.
True equality.
Would
We all agree
value of
equality.
true equality be true that would be equal value? So next we move on to,
I will teach them.
there are a few things here that are talking about different human rights. Would it, like the freedom of thought and free information? Human rights. Peace. Distribution of resources.
Even democracy.
Democracy.
Hold on a minute. Sorry, new democracy. I think that has to be qualified by an appreciation of the real world we live in today. I would add another word to that. Because we're living in a capitalist economic system run by capitalists, the 1%, that we have to qualify new democracy as an anti-capitalist democracy. A new vision, a new political vision. So I would like to add the word anti-capitalist to that new democracy.
To me, true equality and capitalism are not compatible. So if there is true equality, it kind of implies that it will not be a capitalist model that involves inequality.
To reply, we live in a capitalist system. By using the word anti-capitalist, we are expressly stating a position of, you know, what we are also for, but against as well.
I think you'll find that the problem of capitalism came up a lot in the different problems that we highlighted earlier. So this is about what is the pillars of the solution.
And exactly, to reply straight away, the fact that it's come up in discussion so much, it should be incorporated as part of the vision. So I would like to see personally the anti-capitalist component incorporated with New Democracy.
I think we're trying to find pillars that sort of umbrella a lot of these ideas, and I think true equality is an umbrella over New Democracy and anti-capitalism.
Well, can I say, education too should be like the foundational principles of our of our moving forward.
Well, it's human rights.
That's
Education is a human right.
freedom of thought and information. Is that what you're saying? Like transparent education, not filtered by media.
We actually need to be proactive about the sharing of useful information. That's what I mean.
The quality of the education has to grow.
Information that is fully accessible in multiple formats and mediums and modalities for all, as is a basic human right.
I think that human right one probably needs a bit of qualifying, because that there's education, is all those things that we deem, different people deem to be a human right, which is shelter, which is, you know, all those things. So maybe it needs to be human rights, and then, you know, what are those human rights?
But I think with the true equality or the education, this is the goal, a true equality, but the tools, that's going to be a new democracy, anti-capitalism, that's going to be the tools. The true equality is the goal. It's different things.
So isn't that what we were talking about? We wanted the things that we see as our future, not necessarily tools on how to get there. Was that what we were trying to do?
No, both, I think, it was solutions.
Well, we need to understand the goal. In my opinion, you need to know where you want to get to before you decide what the things you are going to do along the way. So that's, I thought that we were trying to do.
Okay, the speaking order.
That was kind of what I was going to say, but I also wanted to add that just like about this whole discussion, it's actually going to be quite difficult to come up with something concrete in the end, because like I was just saying with this guy, we're quite constrained by the language that we have. So every idea that we have, we might think this is what I'm talking about, but then if you want to have another idea, they kind of overlap here but not there, and like, so we might need to come up with more than one word. We might sort of just need to get sort of a theme. We want these kind of things here and these kind of things here. And,
Clarify a new, better way of communication rather than words.
I mean, we kind of get nice to use words because that's what we have, but maybe rather than sort of debating the individual words, we just kind of try and, could we like draw a diagram or something?
Something we came with exactly the same thing in our group. We had this, we were trying to boil it down around, I think it was collaboration and cooperation, and we couldn't actually find a word that puts those two concepts together, and we decided that actually maybe we are coming up with concepts that do not have words yet.
Yes.
I believe me, the things we're talking about and how we're going to achieve them, you know, it's open to a lot of debate and, you know, redefining of words or descriptions of how we're going to explain these things, which I believe falls under a reconstitution or reforming of a constitution and everything that's above that. You know, that's what we work out through that science, through a methodical, a scientific way of constituting that. You know, what does it do? How well does it do it? If it doesn't do something, why doesn't it do it? How can we fix it?
Should we put it to the group that we would like to create a new constitution that is based on science, on things, on new constitution that is based on human rights,
Science.
True equality.
human rights, science, sustainable resource use, and then try to pick that up. So have that, is that something that we're willing to use, that we would like to recreate a constitution, or we'd like to rewrite our world? Is that, are people happy with that being?
I think we might be, we've done a lot of talk and we've got our opinions, but to say that we solve the world by rewriting a constitution, that's maybe one way to solve the problem, but I don't think it's the only way, and we've hardly really had an intensive brainstorming session on the topic. This is really brief, but I think to walk away from this saying we think that the constitution needs to be rewritten, and we're only a subset of the population here, hopefully we're a cross-section of the 99%, but I think that before we start thinking we need to rewrite the constitution, that's a pretty serious thing to want, and it's taking the concentration off a lot of topics that could contribute to a solution. I think we need to, like we're thinking rewrite the constitution, actually rewrite the thoughts in a lot of minds, in a lot of institutions. But I think we can leave it up to the people that are underneath the authority as to how they decide to reorganise their communities, which may not involve a rewrite of the constitution, but maybe a rewrite and abolishment of some of the laws that are already established. Things aren't necessarily that fundamentally shocked, but I'm just thinking rewrite of the constitution is maybe a little bit presumptuous at this point.
So I guess I'm thinking that if we come up with 3 pillars, that rewriting the Constitution is a pretty specific thing that you would think about afterwards when you've got the 3 pillars that you would want to base that Constitution around. So to me, this exercise is to come up with 3 really fundamental pillars that we would want to see in a new type of society.
Yeah, something great. Can there be 4? Because we're all here for the same thing, but we all have different ways that we want to go about achieving it. We come from a health perspective. Health encompasses human rights, you have health, but you have a whole lot of social determinants that impact health, such as housing and education, income, employment, which are all human rights. The environment is a huge impact on health, I guess. But I understand absolutely where you're all coming from, and that's why we decided to come tonight. And we just want to say you're doing an amazing job. We're sorry we can't come camp, but I've got kids and
you're part of it.
Yeah, and I just like to say that everything that everyone's talking about is really awesome, because actually all of these things, all of these social determinants affect someone's health, their physical health, their mental health, and their emotional health. And we've had people come in, walk into our clinics who haven't eaten in days because they don't have enough money, they don't have land to grow food, they're not supported,
they don't have
things
houses
like that.
Or families.
Children coming in who have been sexually abused, people who are getting chucked off the benefit out of their state housing. Some of the first people that see these are the health professionals, the nurses, the doctors, the caregivers. It all affects someone's physical health. So that's our,
why we've come tonight is to just pick up, what's going on here and how the changes that you guys are hoping to make and we're going to help you make, hopefully, are going to impact on people's health. Because health is a huge issue. You can be physically okay, but if you're not spiritually, emotionally, and your family's not okay, then that's going to impact on a whole lot of other things as well.
I think these